In this episode of the podcast, we're not going to hear from just one, not two, but three of the Johnson family, all of whom do CrossFit and all who have interesting, unique stories to share. So in this episode of the podcast, you'll get a chance to meet Skip and Henry and Kate Johnston and learn how they fit CrossFit into a crazy, busy life. Tune in, take notes.
Welcome to the CrossFit Edwardsville Community Podcast, where we hear and learn from our coaches, CrossFitters, and Glen Ed community leaders. Now, here are your hosts, Dallas and Greg.
What is up, guys? I'm Coach G. I'm one of the coaching team here at CrossFit Edwardsville, and I'm super excited because after many, many weeks of planning and back and forth, we have finally made it happen. We've finally gotten to sit down and talk with the Johnson family. Today with us, we have the father, Skip, the mother, Kate, the son, Henry, and in spirit, the daughter, Story, also a part of our CrossFit community. Guys, I welcome you to the CrossFit Edwardsville Community Podcast.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. This is exciting.
We're very excited.
Awesome. And as we had discussed before we were rolling tape, so Skip has actually been on a podcast before. This is a first for Henry and Kate. We're really excited to kind of get to know your stories a little bit. So I'll send this over to Skip first. Skip, how did you find out about us, and what was it that drew you personally to CrossFit in the first place?
Yeah, so I had done CrossFit before work in the mid 2000s, but got out of it for a long time, and like a lot of people, got out of exercising altogether during the pandemic. Kate actually had started going to Orange Theory, and then talked me into going and getting back into exercise. Felt great. But we wanted something that we could do as a family, and Orange Theory had an age restriction. And so we just started Googling, looking for a gym where our whole family could go. And we found CrossFit Edwardsville. Our first class was in May of last year. So we've been at CrossFit Edwardsville for about a year.
Congratulations. Happy anniversary to you
Thank
guys. I want to send it over to Kate and Henry also. And we heard it from Skip. I'll send it over to Henry next. Henry, what brought you to CrossFit? What did you want to achieve? What's important in this to you?
Well, my parents probably won't be excited with this answer, but they kind of made me. But it was nice, though. It was worth it.
In what way?
I feel more energetic from, I don't remember, the chemical, but my dad probably knows it.
Endorphins.
Post-workout endorphins.
Yes. And we'll be talking more on the benefits that you guys have seen as we go along here. Kate, what about you? Skip had mentioned you had some background with Orange Theory. What was it that drew you to CrossFit from there?
Yeah, I've never been an athlete in the sense of team sports growing up or anything like that, but I started working out in a gym during college, and was just sort of off and on throughout time until present day. But so I really love the aspect of challenging myself, and I took a free class, I think at CrossFit Edwardsville a million years ago, but I don't even remember why I didn't sign up, but always let lift, and I couldn't do this last month and I can do it this month, and
Sure.
that's my jam. I like that.
The lifting.
Yeah.
Sure.
Getting stronger.
And you referenced the transformation of abilities. That one of the things that I think is kind of neat for us is that a lot of us, we get to be in our routines as adults. It's kind of nice when we can surprise ourselves and learn something cool we were capable of that we didn't know. So I'll send over to Skip next, who can speak to the exercise endorphins. And Skip, like, what benefits have you personally seen doing CrossFit so far? Like, how has this been helpful to you?
Yeah. So the post workout endorphins are very awesome. But just in general, I think the idea of that you sort of alluded to, but just the ways that you can surprise yourself with your capabilities just by showing up. I can't count how many times, I've signed up for a class and I don't really want to go. And then I show up and the exercise is whatever. I remember a few weeks ago, it was overhead press. Coach Caroline was coaching and it was like a 1 rep max, and didn't want to go and just showed up and got a new PR.
Awesome.
And that is just so good. Like being able to track and see these differences. And then also, when I can't go, I'm traveling for work or whatever, like I just really notice a difference in my overall energy level and how I feel.
Meaning you have more energy when you're consistent with the exercise routine at CrossFit, and you have less energy, don't feel as good the rest of the time, it sounds like.
Yeah. That whole adage of, 30 minutes of exercise is equal to taking an antidepressant is like totally true for me.
Love it. What about you, Kate? How has this been helpful for you? You shout out #lifting and girls who lift.
Yeah, so I love the lifting, and I love having more energy, and just being able to walk my 80-pound dog, and who is very ill behaved. He does not have good walking manners, and it's like I can handle him on a leash a lot better. So that's definitely a plus. He enjoys that as well because it means more walks for him. And the community there. It's like I like going to class and seeing my friends, feel like I've really made some good friendships at CrossFit Edwardsville. So that's definitely like the cherry on top.
That's awesome.
Shout out Noon with Tim.
Yeah, new class with Tune.
Shout out to Tune. And I want to hang out on this point for just a second, Kate, because one of the most empowering things that I see for women in CrossFit is they realize I can have a super like feminine physique and also be really strong. Those are not mutually exclusive things. I can do both. But I think that especially if you're a female who didn't have any experience in the gym when you were a child, the gym can be a very scary place, and it's populated by all of these big guys that are they're big hulking monsters, and they're all gym experts that want to tell Kate what she should be doing and helicopter around, and it's an awkward experience, and it's uncomfortable, and lifting weights sounds scary. One of the most empowering things I've seen is when women realize how cool it is when you can be super strong and totally be a woman also, right? Can you speak to that? Because I think you have a perspective on that a lot of people who maybe are outside of the fitness community may not have.
Yeah, absolutely. So I lift as heavy as I can. I squat as heavy as I can, and I don't think that I am this big bulky brick of a person, it's what are you whispering at me to say? Oh, so I joke with my kids that I want to be like a CrossFit grandma. Like the 70-year-olds and 80-year-olds that I see in the gym they are my heroes, and that's who I want to be. Yeah, it's awesome to go in. I definitely remember being younger and going into a gym, and I'm like, there's just all these dudes there, and they're throwing stuff around and grunting and whatever. And that's for sure true at Edwardsville, at CrossFit Edwardsville, but there's also like plenty of women. There's men and women at all different levels. Like I don't feel like on display or like I'm not as good as somebody else. Like certainly there's the big dogs who've been doing it for a long time and they're in amazing shape and they're doing really hard things that I can't do yet. But it's been awesome to go and like see other women there and encourage each other. This woman is older than me, but I see her doing this. And so like, I'm going to get in there. I'm going to try my best instead of like just swole dudes that are just showing off for one another. It's like, it's not like that at all. It's so inclusive.
What about you, Henry? What have you seen so far? Like what benefits have you seen, and what are your thoughts on coming in and learning to lift at CrossFit?
I mean, like everyone said, the endorphins are awesome, but like kind of a bad part about that is the post-workout soreness. Like,
the struggle is real.
Yeah. But like getting those PRs, ringing that bell, that's always awesome.
And Henry likes to ring the PR bell.
Yeah. When you guys
awesome.
I never rang the bell, and then when I got that overhead press PR, Coach Caroline made me ring the bell, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is awesome. I'm doing this."
It does feel pretty good.
What PRs have you had recently, Henry? What personal bests for you?
Oh my goodness. I think it was bench press a while ago.
You love bench presses.
Yeah, and I think it was also deadlifts a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all I can remember.
You did you had a handstand or a headstand or something?
Oh yeah.
That was probably the most recent one.
Headstand.
That has Coach Caroline written all over it. Was she the
one?
It
was, yeah.
So
yeah, she tried to get you to do it again, but you had PR. You'd used it all. You couldn't get up there again, but he did it the one time.
It was not.
So I think an interesting question that a lot of the audience is going to have, a lot of our audience would have, is like, how do you guys make it work? Because Skip, he's a working professional. He's got his stuff going on. Kate, you've got your stuff going on. Henry is very active as well. You've got camps and you've got school. You're juggling all of these things. Also, I guess I'd ask Skip first, like, how do you guys make it work to do fitness? This is one of the most common challenges for busy people that have families is how do you make it work to fit workouts in regularly while still being a human, not just an exercise robot?
Yeah. So I don't want to sugarcoat it and say that like it's super easy. There are times when it's like totally on the agenda and it doesn't work out. I think that's where that showing up piece comes up again a lot, and hitting the reset button be okay. Wanted to make it today, not going to, but I'm going to make it tomorrow. And one thing I'll say too is some gyms that I've been part of, CrossFit that I've been part of before, and I recognize like it's a business. You have to have rules and structure to make it work. But I will also say that CrossFit Edwardsville has made that easier, definitely easier than Orange Theory was, but also easier than other gyms that I've been in the past with like reminders and but also sort of like the time boxing of when pre-signing up is okay and things like that. So lots of times for me, like I mentioned earlier, noon with Tune, if I can make it my lunch hour, that's like perfect because the kids are at school. I usually just, grab a lunch anyway. So being able to maximize that lunchtime class is like perfect for me. And then if I'm able to do that, then usually able to do all the other stuff that I have to do in a day, drop offs in the morning, family time in the evening, or social events or whatever. So I'm a big fan of the lunch class.
Dig it. What is it for you, Kate? What is your secret to success with fitting workouts into this busy life?
I think just doing it. Like, there's a lot of reasons not to, but it's like you don't start doing something because it's easy necessarily. Like, you do something out of necessity or because you want to. And so it's like it was hard at first finding the hour or so out of my day to like make it in. And at other gyms, I was in a spot in my life where I could make it at like 6 a.m. And then, then I was more of an evening class person. And then Skip and I go to the noon class a lot. And it's like, just make whatever works work. And eventually you'll miss it. Like, if it's something that you love to do, like I love doing CrossFit, whether it's taking a walk or, whatever it is, you'll find the time to do it, and then you'll start missing it when it's not a part of your schedule. Like, we were gone for a week on vacation, and we're certainly busy and like doing stuff, but I wasn't throwing weights around. So by the time I got back home, it's like kind of hard to get back in the swing of things, but definitely could feel a difference in just like everything. So it was hard to get back into the gym, but then it was, like riding a bike.
Once you have that routine, you can ride that endorphin rush, ride that wave. So before we close, I want to do a little lightning round here where we'll start with Henry. And Henry, the question is either your favorite exercise or your favorite workout that you've done so far. Henry, go.
Like, what is it? Like,
what is your favorite exercise or your favorite workout you've done so far? What's awesome to you?
Like, when I was like coach of the day and we did that trivia stuff. And that trivia workout, and like if you got it wrong, you did your least favorite workout, and if you got it right, you did your favorite. That was pretty awesome.
What was your favorite workout?
That was it.
But like, if you had to get it, like if you got it right and you got to do your favorite workout, what was it?
Oh, I don't remember. I think it might have been like
bench press, probably.
It would have been bench presses, but like that was like too hard to get out and stuff. But I think it was like maybe squats, I think.
So what Henry is referencing here to our audience at home is that in the youth program here at CrossFit Edwardsville, we incorporate grade school trivia, learning about geography or science. And if the kids, like whoever answers right, gets to pick the next exercise, or if they get it wrong, they have an exercise they do, and if they get the question wrong. So we keep it fun for the kids. All right, let's go over to Kate. Kate, favorite exercise or favorite workout you've done so far? Go.
Favorite exercise is deadlift. I feel like I could deadlift all day. I love them.
Shoot, don't miss today's workout.
I haven't seen today's workout. I should look at it, try to get up there.
Oh, dude,
quick.
It has an abundance of deadlifts. Skip, what is it for you? Favorite workout, favorite exercise? Go.
Sleds. I love the sled.
The push sled. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Don't miss this Saturday. We're doing Strongman Saturday. We're gonna definitely hang out with the push sleds. 8 a.m. this Saturday.
I'll be there Saturday.
Awesome. Bring the whole family with you. We'd love to see you guys there. Hey, I want to thank Skip and Kate and Henry for joining us on the podcast today. Thank you for sharing your story and your tips for fitting fitness into a busy family life. And just, from where I'm sitting here, I think it's very cool that you guys get to do this together. It's one more way, I think, that families can bond together, and it creates another common interest that you guys can share around the dinner table. More fun stories that you can celebrate or commiserate about. in the future. But it's been an honor and a joy getting to get to know you guys and have you as a part of our community. Thanks for being a part of this podcast. And as we always say to everybody, we'll see all of you guys in the next one. Have an amazing rest of your day.
Awesome.
Thanks, Coach G.
Thanks, Coach G. We love you guys.
Thanks, Coach G.